to today's video. Hopefully you can hear me and it's not too echoey, but there's not a lot I can do because we are in my kitchen. I don't know if you guys have seen my kitchen before, but this is it. It's actually my parents' kitchen because I'm in my parents' house. But today we're going to be making some Christmas treats. I've got my little reindeer antlers on. I don't know how long they'll be staying on for because I don't know if you can hear that, but they are kind of annoying after a while. Like, they're cute, but now they're annoying. So today we're going to be making, and I'll show you a little insert right now, of my Tunnocks tea cakes Christmas puddings for people that hate Christmas puddings. These are so extremely easy to make. I am such a foodie and I love food, and I'm sure that everyone loves sweet treats. So if you love Tunnocks tea cakes, then I'm sure you will love these treats just as much as I do. They're super, super easy to make. They're kid friendly, they're adult friendly, hell, they're anyone friendly apart from pets because they've got chocolate in. So yeah, these are so easy to make. Everyone will love them, and if you don't like Christmas pudding because of the fruit in them, this is a great alternative. So if you've got a lot of people around or friends and you know that a lot of people don't like Christmas pudding, especially children, I know probably don't like Christmas pudding as much as adults, then these are a great alternative. You don't have to make as many as I'm making today. I'm just making 10 just because I didn't want to make too many and be stuck with like thousands and thousands of them. But you can easily just make 3, you could make 4, you could make 1. It's up to you. You just have to buy a packet of Tunnocks tea cakes. They're kind of like 6 in a box is I think the smallest box you can get. I think I paid £1.50 for mine, but I'm sure you can find them in cheaper places. So yes, I'll put on the screen all the things that you will need. But yeah, that's it for my entrance of this video. Let's get into making the little treats. Okay, so for this video you're going to need a red icing pen and a green icing pen for decoration, as well as icing sugar and some Tunnocks tea cakes, of course, a bowl to do the mixing in, and a sieve or a tea strainer if you don't have a sieve or the bowl's too small, and some spoons for manipulating the icing sugar. So the first step I did was literally sieving out some icing sugar. I used the tea strainer just because it was a little bit smaller for the bowl that I had, but by all means you can just use a normal sieve, it's absolutely fine. My tea strainer is not dirty, by the way, it's just stained with tea. I promise you this is 100% clean. It just looks a little bit stained and brown and worn. I promise you it's clean. But I'm just sieving out the icing sugar, and by doing this, all you're doing is getting rid of all the lumps so that your icing sugar is not going to be all lumpy, it's going to be nice and smooth. And then when you've done this, you've got a good amount. I've got like a small dessert bowl. I just started adding water teaspoon by teaspoon. I have made the mistake before by just shoving in loads of water and it's just disappears, like the sugar has just melted away. So teaspoon by teaspoon and kind of moulding it all in, really kneading it like I am here. You can see it's slightly turning to a paste, but please do not go, you know, gun-a-ho and put loads and loads of water in. Teaspoon by teaspoon really does work. So yeah, doing this method, just make sure that you've put enough in and not too much, otherwise you're going to have to compensate with more icing sugar later, and that's just a waste of ingredients. So I won't lie to you, this does take a while. I'd say I've been kneading this for about 5 minutes now, but as you can see it's slightly turning into more of a thinner mixture. You just kind of keep pulling up the spoon to see the texture of the icing sugar, and if it's a bit too thick then just carry on adding like literally half a teaspoon of water from there on, because you're nearly there. So yeah, as you can see the icing sugar is practically ready. I just need a little bit more water just to kind of get it a little bit more runny so that it's not too thick. But if you prefer a thicker icing, you know, go for it, but I just prefer to be able to like drop it on to the Tunnocks tea cakes a little bit better. So this to me right now is the perfect consistency. So now we get the Tunnocks tea cakes out, and be particularly careful with undoing the Tunnocks tea cakes. You don't want to rip the foil, and you'll see why in a minute. But I'm just literally trying not to touch the Tunnocks tea cake too much, because
chocolate is one of those things that just gets fingerprints on it, and it's a bit gross if it does. So try to not manhandle the Tunnocks tea cake as much as possible, and just drop a little chickpea-sized amount of icing on the middle of the Tunnock tea cake. I don't know how many times I want to say Tunnock tea cake, but there you go, there's again. And just kind of start dragging the icing in random directions down the sides of the tea cake, just to kind of look like the icing on a Christmas pudding, I suppose. Also try not to go too heavy with this, because it literally, the icing will fall down the side, as you could see there, and it will just kind of go a bit crazy and melt everywhere. So less is more when it comes to this. And definitely if you have icing left over, and you probably will do, I definitely did, you can always put it over like biscuits and things, because icing sugar is literally just, well, sugar, so it kind of goes with anything. So yeah, just keep putting all of the icing sugar all over the Tunnock tea cakes, and yeah, as soon as you're done, just pop these in the fridge just to set, so that they don't move and they don't melt anymore. And whilst they're in the fridge, go back to those Tunnock tea cakes wrappers that we saved, and we were ever so careful not to rip, and place them over maybe a small placemat. This is a small placemat that we just put hot dishes on, and just kind of sellotape them down, just on the top to join them all together. You don't have to sellotape it onto the mat, you can just fold it over the corners, which is what I did. And this just makes like a really nice platter to serve up your Tunnocks tea cakes. It just looks really Christmassy, it's red, it's silver, it's really sort of shiny, and it's very sort of reminiscent of what the actual product is and what you're serving on there. So I really like this as a platter. So yeah, when you've done that, you can kind of take your Tunnocks tea cakes out of the fridge, because they should have been set by now. It only really takes about a couple of minutes, 5 maximum, just to kind of make the icing set properly. And you want to make sure the icing is set before you do the icing pens, which is what I'm doing now, these little red berries, because if it's not set, then basically the icing and the icing pen is just going to merge, and it's going to sort of bleed everywhere, which doesn't look great. So yeah, make sure it's set, and you can start doing what I'm doing here, which is drawing little berries and drawing little leaves with the icing pens. You don't have to do 3, you could do 1 or 2, you could do it random, completely up to you. I'm just doing like little holly leaves like you'd see on a Christmas pudding. So this didn't really take any time at all, but when you've done this, do just pop it in the fridge perhaps for just maybe 1-2 minutes, just give it like a flash like freeze almost, just to make sure it's set. And yeah, that is pretty much it done. Just leave them in the fridge until you're ready to eat them.
So after you've taken them out of the fridge, you are done, and you can platter them all up. These are done. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up in a second, but these are basically done. So if you don't have a platter or a nice dish that you like to present your things on, like I said, the Tunnocks foil itself, you just divide them up and just sellotape them down onto just a placemat. These are just placemats that we eat like small dinners off of, like lunch and things. So you can just temporarily fold them over, and that's going to be a really quick and easy festive sort of way to style it. I also like the fact that it's a Tunnocks wrapper, so you can kind of see what product it is. But yeah, it could look like this, or if you wanted to make more, then you can always put them on this sort of dish, which is just a circular round dish. I really love this one because it's got like gold flecks in, you'll see in the close-up. But this is such an easy, lovely dish if you wanted to display lots and lots of goodies. But personally, I actually prefer the platter, the homemade platter style, because when you see without all of the tea cakes on it, it actually just looks like 4 wrappers, which I think I love the most. So it's either or, it's up to you. Video today. If you've enjoyed this sort of video where I come away from the makeup and come more into the kitchen and more other places that I love, like food, let's be honest, I love a bit of food. So if you like these sorts of videos, give me a thumbs up, because it's really great for me to know what sorts of videos you like. I personally do like coming away from the makeup now and again and doing something other than beauty, but if you don't want to see it, that's absolutely fine. I can just save that for myself. But yeah, thumbs up if you do enjoy these sorts of videos, and I'll be sure to add a little bit more in. Also, comment down below if you've got any other sweet treats or little treats, savoury treats, whatever sort of treats you've got that are kind of festive with a twist. You know, they could just be normal food products like a Tunnocks tea cake, for example, that you've kind of festivitied up. made Christmassy. Thanks once again, guys, for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Oh my toe. Oh God, send help. No more touching. Huh? Not for you.